know why it's so loud. Oh, wow, that was much better. Okay, so now, again, let's go ahead and knock out these ACT questions. So here we have area is what? Base times height. Does everybody agree with that? And what was the base? Someone tell me. Nobody?
I'll tell you.
What is it?
-1, 1.
Somebody that has a clue. Go. 5. Thank you. What's the height? 3. Thank you so much. So the area was what? 15. Now, especially you should be proud of yourself because believe it or not, like I said, these are ACT questions that high school kids are doing. All right. Believe it or not. All right. I don't think it's that hard. All right. Yes, ma'am. I counted from here from 1 to D. So I went from -1 to 4. All right. -1 to 4. All right. Now look, these are a little bit trickier. So I don't mind. All right. Speak up. All right. We got a shortened class today. We got lots to do. All right. And then of course, Lexi, do you see the height? You would just measure from here to here, right?
Yeah.
All right. Which is really just 1 to 4. All right. What is the distance from B to D? Tell me what that is, guys.
8.
How many? What is it?
I got 8.
A 8. Okay, so K would be the answer then,
For what question?
right? 49, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right, so let's figure this out. That didn't sound too confident. So again, I'm gonna blow this up a little bit and we're gonna go from B to D. That's what we're trying to find. Is everybody with me on that? Now, I told you, I tried to remind you that the distance formula is just the Pythagorean theorem, correct? So what I would prefer that you do is take a look at this and just construct the right triangle. So this distance right here is 3. Is everybody okay with that? And this distance right here is what? 4. Everybody agreeing? So now we can do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. 25 equals c squared, so c equals 5. So correct answer was actually H. All right, now, like I said, we have a lot to do. So if I'm going too fast, you can let me know. Or if you don't understand something, don't be shy. These are the trickier ones. Anybody? Anybody? All right, so now let's knock out 50. What's the slope of BC? All right, remember slope was equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So BC is a what type of line? Horizontal. So who remembers the slope of a horizontal line is always what? 0. Very good. All right, very nice work. All right, now 51, everyone asked me about reflecting over the y-axis. All right, and we did some IXL work in 6th grade with reflections. All right, very basic information. All right, so let's show you that real quick. So what we want to do is I want to erase all this. All right, real quick. And then to me, in my opinion, you should just write, there's the y-axis, right? So we're reflecting it. All right, so if we reflect A, does everybody agree A is right here? So it's common sense, right? I'm moving it on the other side of A. So if I move that to the other side as a reflection, then to me, it would look right there. Does everybody agree? Reflection just means the same distance away from whatever you're reflecting it to. All right, or reflecting it over. So correct answer for 51 was what? Was it 1-1?
Yeah.
I think it was 1-1, right? Yeah, 1-1. Everybody okay with that? All right, that's good. All right, now let's just come up here. Let's talk about 47. What is the total area of the 2 shaded triangles? Does everybody agree with that? So this right here is 8, right? And this right here is So do you agree it's just the area of the two triangles? And the area of the two triangles was what? 40. Now remember, I'm saying 40 because I'm assuming you're okay. If you're like, I don't know what you're doing, just tell me. Go.
How did you get that?
Well, first of all, it's the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, right?
Mhm.
So we just have two triangles. So 1/2 times 4 times 8 plus 1/2 times 6 times 8. You agree with
Oh, yeah, I
that?
understand.
Right. Now, can anybody see that I knew it was 40 really without doing any work? How did I know that? Tell me, James.
Because you did 10 times 8 and then you cut it half.
Yay, very, very smart, James. Thank you very much. I would like everybody to know that, even though that might be an afterthought for most of you. All right, I think that's a great observation. All right, the formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, right? So if you have a triangle that's inside a rectangle, the base is 10 and the height is what? H, right? So the area of the rectangle would be base times height. Does everybody agree with that? The area of the triangle is what? 1/2, the same base times height, correct? So if I subtract BH minus 1/2 BH, I get what? 1/2 BH, which is indeed 40. All right. Now, again, I think the problem with geometry is that there's a lot of visual things. Some of you are good at visualizing. Some of you are not. I am not a good visual person. I like to know the algebra, do the algebra, show me the algebra. All right. You can get better at visual if you practice. All right. And that's what I'm talking about. I would like everybody to look up there and say, obviously, the area of the triangle, the white triangle is always half of the rectangle. That's what I'd like you to notice. It doesn't matter where I put it. For example, if I draw this, that is always still going to be what? What's that area? Tell me what the area of that triangle that I just drew is. 40. All right. Now let's get a little wild and crazy just so you can see it. Let's say I come over here and I draw this triangle, this orange triangle. What's the area of that orange triangle? 40. Because did the height change? No, and the base didn't change. So the area is not going to change. That's on a lot of SAT and ACT questions because it's a hard thing to visualize. All right, that's a really great question. All right, so let's go down here. Let's talk about this. All right, now, if everyone has the answer, I don't need to spend time, but I want everybody to agree on the answer. So, Nate, what is it?
340.
Somebody said 340. Anybody else agree with that? Right now, if you'd like me to do it, I don't mind doing it. Go ahead and do it. All right, so let's look. Laura plans to paint an 8-foot high rectangular wall of her room. And before she buys paint, she needs to know the area of the wall surface to be painted. 2 walls are 10 feet wide, and the other 2 walls are 15 foot wide. The combined area of one window and the door is 60 square feet. What is the area? So basically what you're doing is you're just saying you're painting the walls, but you're obviously not going to paint the door and the windows. So you find the area of all the walls and subtract out the area of the other stuff. Do you agree with me? So do you agree the walls are 8 feet high, right? So 2 are 10 feet. So do you agree that's a total of 160?
Mhm.
And then 2 walls are 15. So 15 times 8 is 120 times 2 is what? 240, which gives me a total area of what? 400. You agree with that?
Mhm.
But then it says, come on, that's 60, right? So I just subtract out the 60,
Okay, I understand.
right? Again, don't be afraid. You're not supposed to look at things and say that's the answer anymore. All right, you're supposed to figure things out. It's more than one step. All right, I really like
I'm
that.
still
part.
confused.
With
how
what?
I don't know. Could you maybe like draw it and like label the sides? Because
There's
that usually.
4 rectangles, Marin.
Mm-hmm.
The area of a rectangle is what? How
Base
do you
times
find
height.
the area of a rectangle?
Base times height.
Right, so it's 8 by 8 feet high, 10 feet wide. That's one wall. And there's 2 of them.
Okay.
And the other wall is 8 by 15. And there are 2 of them.
Okay.
You with me? So 8 times 10 is 80. That's a rectangle. This is a rectangle with dimensions 8 by 10.
Uh-huh.
And so
So that's
that
one.
total area of those 2 walls would be 160.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah.
All right, next, let's come up here, 45. Okay, this one's a really nice problem. All right, anybody get this one? Tell me.
20.
20. Someone said 20. Anybody else? Nobody else? 20? 20? Yeah. So let's do that. So does everybody agree we're missing AB, right? So we have to do A squared plus B squared equals C squared, right? So now we're just going to do 24 squared plus 32 squared equals C squared. And what's that? 576. What's 32 squared? How much? 1124 equals C squared. So add those together, we get what? 1600. 1700, right?
It's 1,024.
Yeah, 1024. That's right. Had to be 1600. So 1600 equals C squared. So C is equal to 40, right? Everybody okay with that? Now the midpoint of AB is right here, correct? And so that's 20 units away. Because it's a right triangle, remember? Right, and I have to find the midpoint of AB, right? I have to go right in the middle. Everybody happy with that? That's not bad. All right. Here we go. Find the length of LM if ON bisects. So if ON bisects LM, what's true? Yeah, the 2 are equal, correct? So now this is just 3x plus 2 equals 7x minus 1. Is everybody good with that?
Yeah.
And so if we do the mental math on that, what do we get? X equals, I think, 3/4, right? Now on the test tomorrow, what happens is kids answer the question for the math, but they don't ask or they don't answer the question of the geometry part, right? So we've got X equals 3/4. That's not the answer, right? If it's multiple choice, always they'll have 3/4 as the answer, but they're not asking about 3/4. They're asking about what? LM. All right. So LM is the whole thing. Do you agree? So all we have to do is plug 3/4 in and then multiply it by 2. Right? So let's practice our math. 3/4 times 3 is 9/4, correct? 9/4 plus 2 is 8/4, which is 17/4. And then we have 2 of those, right? So 17 over 2. Did anybody else get that? Is that right? 17 over 2. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, anybody else?
How did you
What?
get that last part that you just did?
You mean 7? How did I get 17 over 2? Or how did
Yeah.
I add the I plugged 3/4 into an equation, into this equation.
Okay.
And that told me what LN was. And LN is equal to NM. Therefore, LM is equal to LN times 2. So 17/4 times 2. Because each one of these is 17/4. Agreed?
Yeah. I'm just confused why you times the 2 by 3/4 also, because 3 is only being times by x.
I didn't.
And-
I added 2. 3 times 3/4 plus 2. That's how I got 17/4.
Oh, okay, I see.
All right, here we go. Now, I really am into just the book geometry now. So I'm up for discussion here. All right, does anybody have a particular problem? Or do you just want me to keep going backwards or what?
I was confused on 43. What,
Okay, so let's look at 43.
what's the symbol in between?
This right here,
Yeah.
that just means perpendicular,
Oh, okay.
right? That's the symbol for perpendicular. So here we go. So XW is perpendicular to XZ. So this would have to be X, this would be W, this would be Z. Drawing them out is important. Y is in the interior of WXZ. So Y is over here somewhere. Do you agree?
Yes.
So now WXY would be this angle, right?
Right.
So WXY plus YXZ adds up to 90, right? So we can do that, right? This plus this equals 90. So do we agree 10Y plus 10 equals 90? You agree with that? Yeah, and if I need to blow up, you guys tell me if I need the screen bigger. You can't see. All right, that's why I got this screen. All right. So now is everybody comfortable with me just saying Y equals 8, right? Now, this is what I'm talking about. On the test, I feel bad sometimes. I got to mark it wrong if you put Y equals 8, and that's not what the question is. So just get in the habit, look back. What are they asking for? Find the value of Y. So is that the answer? This is the answer this time. But they could have said, what's the angle measure? Either one of those. All right, you'd have to find the angle measure. All right. Harrison, you good?
I did it differently, but I got the same answer. But can I tell you the way I did it to make sure that I can do it another way?
Yeah,
I just did 6y minus 3 is equal to 4y plus 13.
no,
Okay.
that's not right. Those angles don't have to be equal, true?
Yeah.
If they are equal, that means they're both 45. We don't know they're both 45. Do you agree with me or not?
Yeah.
Besides, that would be 2y equals 10, y equals 5. It's not the same answer. Agreed?
Yeah.
You sure? Remember, they are not equal. Those angles are not equal. One of the biggest mistakes kids make when they're learning geometry is they make the appearance, right? It just says y is somewhere on the interior. It might have been better to put it way over here because now those angles don't what? They don't look equal, right? But sometimes if you draw a picture and you make them look equal, then you might think they are equal. There's no way they say those things are equal. All right, hopefully that makes sense. Harrison, you good on that?
Yeah.
Perpendicular means they add up to 90 degrees. All right. Number 42, what's the answer?
36.
Somebody said 36. Angle 1. M stands for measure. Measure of angle 1 equals 36. All right. Yes.
Please do that one.
What does supplementary mean?
They add to 180.
Right. So if angle 2 and angle 3 are supplementary, that means angle 2 must equal 54. Do you agree with that? And so angle 1 is complementary. So that means angle 1 is 90 minus 54. Right? All right. Lots of definitions. All right, 41 is kind of annoying. So let's look at that. Find the measure of RST. ST bisects RSU. So right off the bat, we're going to come up here and we're going to say this angle is equal to this angle. Then it says that SU bisects TSV. So then what's true about all those angles? They're all the same. All three angles are the same. Does everybody agree with that? So now this is, I can understand, kind of annoying. So we would say x plus 2y minus 1 equals 6x minus 9. Does everybody agree with that? Yeah. Now there's there's two variables, so I need another equation, right? So what's true about these two things? They're the same, they're equal. So you can write now 6x minus 9 equals 2y plus 5. Does everybody agree with that? And now it's just a matter of, do you remember your algebra from last year? So I'm going to move the x over here with this guy, right? And if I move that over, and I'm also going to move the -1 over with the constant, I'll have 2y equals 5x minus 8. Does everybody agree with that? Speak up now if you don't know. Does everybody see what I did? All right, I should review that better. So here we go. What did I do? I subtracted x plus 1 plus 1. Just combining terms, so to speak. Is everybody okay with that? Now, I could, divide by 2 if I wanted to, but I need everybody's attention now. Does everybody see 2y? What does it equal?
Minus 9.
Nope.
Oh.
It equals 5x minus 8, right? Does everybody see this 2y right here? What could I replace 2y with? See what I'm doing? I just drop that right down in there. All right. So now I have 6x minus 9 equals 5x minus 8 plus 5. So all I did, just to make sure you're seeing me, is I took this 5x minus 8 and I put it in for 2y, and it became 5x minus 8. Now I should be able to solve that for x. So subtract 5x and add 9. So it looks to me like x is equal to -8 plus 5 plus 9. Somebody help me. 6.
6.
If you got that from last night, you're in great shape. Seriously.
I'm in great shape.
All right. You're in
Mr.
good
Shaw.
shape. Yes.
When it says that an angle bisects another angle, does that mean that the angles are equal?
That's what bisect means.
Okay.
Okay. Now that x is 6, all right, what you can do is you can just, what does it want? Find RST. So I'm trying to find this angle, right? But that angle is the same as what? All of the angles, right? So now I want you to be smart. Do I really have to find y? No, because I can take 6 and just plug it in right here, right? And so what's 6 times 6 minus 9?
27.
27 degrees. So I want the measure of angle RST is equal to 27 degrees. That's really good. Like I said, if you got that, I think you're in great shape for tomorrow. That was really hard. All right, really hard, actually. Good algebra if you know that. Yes, Harrison.
But you just, I did it different way. I just did x plus 2y minus 1 is equal to 2y plus 5.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Harrison. That was even better. Now, why is that better, Harrison?
Because the two y cancels out.
Thank you so much. I did not even observe that. Harrison, you are amazing. That was nice work, Harrison. All right, sometimes I don't see the easiest way, but he just did that because what happens to the two y's?
Cancels out.
Yeah, they cancel. That was even easier. So x equals 6. Very nice. All right, very nice. Thank you for that, Harrison. That was a good job. All right. I didn't even think about that. All right, so let's continue. Anybody else have something like they tried and was like, I'm confused?
Yeah. 40.
Oh, well, yep, we'll just keep going. So listen, we have to know the definition of obtuse. So this is a really good review of algebra. So what's the definition of obtuse?
More than 90.
Larger than 90, but less than.
180.
So our angle, which is 12x minus 6. Now, come on, guys. 12x minus 6 has to be less than what? 180, but it has to be greater than. Come on, guys. Everybody's got to write that out. There it is. All right, that is the solution. Now, of course, we got to finish solving it, right? Now, if you recall from last year, what you're supposed to do with these, right, is to say this is plus 6, plus 6, plus 6. All right. And so now we have 96 is less than 12x, which is less than 186. And then, of course, we divide by 12. So 96 divided by 12, of course, is what? 8 is less than x, which is less than, what is that, 15.5, I think. I think that's right. And if you want, you can leave it as 31 over 2, I believe. All right, either of those. That's really good right there, guys. Another really good algebra. Now, remember, our interval notation for this would be 8 to 31 halves. I like fractions better, so 8 to 31 halves. Anybody have any issues on that? Really good.
Is that how you leave it?
Yeah, you can leave it like that. But you know what? On the test tomorrow, I don't care. Like I'm just impressed if you can write an interval notation. All right, we did that last year. All right, so I'm always trying to review with you all the different things that might be coming up on the standardized tests. What?
Why do you write it like that?
Why do I write it like this?
No,
Or-
like, why do you write it like how you started it? And then you-
Okay, because in your head, you should say obtuse means an angle greater than 90 and less than 180. Right, so now what I need to do is I need to convince you that that is what this says. All right, so now I want to show you what's important. To me, I always start with less than, because that's the easy one, right? So I wrote 12x minus 6 is less than 180. Do you agree with that? Now I'm comparing this angle to what? 90. Now here's where I need you to listen. Everyone's got to listen. Oftentimes with inequalities, you can read them backwards and they make more sense. So now I'm comparing 12x minus 6 to 90, right? Now I'm reading, notice I don't normally read this way, but if you read backwards, you have to say it backwards. So you say 12x minus 6 is greater than 90. You see what I'm saying on that? Right, so now we just said anytime x is between 8 and 31 over 2, x, that angle will be obtuse. Agreed? So again, just to refresh, if I said x is less than 3 and greater than 2, right? You don't say 2 is less than x and x is less than 3. You say x is between 2 and 3, or x is less than 3 but greater than 2, because you're reading the other direction. If you know that, that's important too. All right, that's helpful. Yes.
How did you do 31?
I'd take 186 and divide it by 12. Divide by 6, 31 over 2. All right. Someone else. Go.
He did 39.
Yep, we'll just keep right on going, it looks like. Find the value of y if s, so every single time I do these problems, I just write down, here's r, here's t, and s is in the middle. And since s is in the middle, I know rs is congruent to st. So rs is 6x plus 5. Uh-oh, I didn't finish the problem. S is the midpoint of RT, and T is the midpoint of RU. So U would have to be way over here. I was going too fast. U would have to be over here, so it looks kind of good, right? So now what I want you to show, or I want to show you is, because of that, I like to do this. This is equal to this, because I don't want to interfere with my site. All right, sometimes you can make the picture too complicated, right? So I can clearly now see that RT is equal to TU, and I can see RS is equal to ST. Is everybody good with that? And now TU is what? 11y plus 13. So can someone tell me, it says ST is 8x minus 1, right? So that's pretty easy to solve for x, right? Can everybody do that and just tell me, right? Come on, guys. Everybody should be able to tell me the mental math on that. X equals 3, right? Any questions with x equals 3? Everybody happy with that? So if x equals 3, then we got to find what RS is. 6x times 3 is 18. 18 plus 5 is 23. Is everybody happy with that? So that means RS is 23, which means that ST is automatically what? 23, which means RT is how much? 46. So now 46 is equal to 11y plus 13. So that also means it looks like y equals what? 3. Yes, ma'am.
How do you know that RT is equal to TU?
Because it tells me T is the midpoint of RU.
Mr.
True.
Strong.
Well, just a second, Maren. I'll help you. Do you see it now, right? Okay, Maren, tell me, kiddo.
Like, how do you know that y is 3? Because there's only one equation that has the y variable. So,
Okay, so do you agree, Maren, that TU is equal to RT? You have to know that. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
T is the midpoint of RU, therefore that's true, correct?
Yes.
You agree? Okay, so now I found what RT was. RT is 46. Do you agree with that?
Wait, RT is, yes, yeah, sorry.
So if RT is 46, that means TU is also 46.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
And
Oh, wait,
then
yeah,
you
because
just-
it's the midpoint.
Yep, and then you just set that equal to 46. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, 38. Angles ABC and CBD form a linear pair. All right, so linear pair, line, adjacent angle. All right, so A, B, C, C, B, D. That forms a linear pair. All right. Does everybody agree with that? And so now that tells me that what? A, B, D are collinear. All right, that's helpful
How do you
drawing the
know?
picture.
How do you know where the letters go?
Well, I drew ABC, right? B has to be the vertex, right?
Yeah.
So how else can I draw it?
I thought A, B, C were on the bottom line.
ABC is the, so if you do that, Maren, if you do ABC like that, where does D go?
On the adjacent angle, I thought.
So D is here.
Yeah,
Is that D? Is that what you're telling me?
that's what I thought, but
Okay, so let's see if that's correct. So ABD, where is ABD up here?
oh, it's not there.
So that can't be correct,
Mhm. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
You just have to draw the pictures. If you draw the pictures, you'll see things better and you'll get better.
Okay.
All right, so C lies between AB, right? So automatically I just put C, here's A, and here's B. AC is 3y plus 5. CB is 4y minus 1. And AB is 9y minus 12. So what's the equation for that? Someone be brave. Let's go. Anybody? Go ahead.
3y plus 5 plus 4y minus 1 equals 9y minus 12.
You're awesome. But now instead of writing all that, can we just say, well, I knew I was adding those together. So in the interest of time, we just know 7y plus 4 equals 9y minus 12, right? You agree with that? And so now what does y equal from there? I think y equals 8, right? And now again, if you put 8 and they don't say what's y, you're gonna make a mistake. But in this case, they say find what? Find y. So we're good. Y equals 8.
I never mind.
What?
I just didn't get that, but it's probably just because of me. So I'll
But
do it
no,
later.
Maren, did you get the equation?
Yeah, I did that equation.
Okay. All right. Good job, guys. I will post the rest of the worked out solutions.
Bye.